We've got some things to talk about on today's episode. John Lynch spoke at the scouting combine and he left the faithful with some nuggets. We're going to break those nuggets down right here on the Wayne Breezy Show. Make sure you hit that like button. Stick around.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded, I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05067 Wheezy. This is not a game. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded, I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah, breezy this.
What's going on, faithful? It's your boy Wayne Breezy. We touching down right now on the Wayne Breezy Show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. A lot of stuff we're going to get down to on today's episode. I definitely want to get your take, and I think I'm going to open up the lines because I want to get your thoughts on the quarterback position. We're going to talk a little bit about that. After we get through the formalities of the show. So before we get to the formalities, just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to all of the members of the channel. Truly appreciate you guys. You get the early morning shout out. Christy Marie's in the building. My man Michael Ing's in the building. Good morning. R. Sandiford 33 is in the building. What's going on? Terra Dome is in the building. My man Troy, how you doing? Family is in the building. I see you, Fernando. Shout out to my man Kylie. Ty is in the building. What's going on, Jerome? T-Jack 478. What's good, family? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being in one of the most amazing side chats that I've ever witnessed before in my entire life. Listen, nothing but Niners chat be popping, but it's something about this Wayne, the Wayne Breezy chat. It just be on a whole nother level. All right. Make sure you guys like the show. Make sure you guys like it as you're entering. Go ahead and hit that like button as soon as you get in here. If you're already not subscribed to the channel, all right, please subscribe to the channel. It's at the Wayne Breezy right there. You can put in the @ symbol and pop in the Wayne Breezy, it'll pop up, or you can use the URL as well. And if you really love what you see and you want to support the channel, all right, you can become a member by joining. All right. So check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and any other type of podcast. Stitcher is on Stitcher as well. The new episode will be available immediately following the show. So it'll be up there for exclusive content. Make sure you go to the Patreon. We did the mock draft Monday here live on the show, which I thought was really cool, very interesting. Got some guidance from some of you out there. But I'm going to be doing the breakdown of the players that I mock draft and kind of, tell you why I selected those particular people. So look out for that video. It'll be on the Patreon this week. All right. That's patreon.com/Wayne Breezy. Don't forget to follow on Instagram and Facebook at the Wayne Breezy. You can follow and subscribe on Twitter as well at Wayne Breezy. All right. And don't forget, last but not least, the Wayne Breezy Apparel is popping. Help me rock and support the Wayne Breezy Apparel. Shout out to my man Ty. He's out there. He is the creator of the Wayne Breezy Apparel that's going on right now at www.twben.com. Shop, cop your t-shirts, cop your hoodies today. All right, do that today. All right, man. And shout out to our quick sponsor. We're going to talk about our residency sponsors. All right, so residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy. You can save on your total overall purchase right now by just using the promo code SFBreezy. If you like what you see up there, there are plenty of stuff. They got new designs that are going to be coming out very shortly, so it's going to be real cool. What's going on, everybody? Let's tap in. I want to see how you guys are doing. DJ Malone says, Wayne was Gucci. Everything's good over here, fam. Everything's good over here. Kylie has a question. You already know the answer to this question. Listen, so the Jamie Foxx show, in my opinion, was the second coming to a Martin show. Like, and I loved Living Single, but Living Single to me wasn't a sketch type of sitcom. It was more just of a sitcom, right? I felt like it didn't have too much sketching going on, improv, all that type of stuff. To whereas Jamie Foxx, those are my kind of shows. Like even like Fresh Prince was more of a sitcom than it was like for a sketch. So I'm going Jamie Foxx over Living Single, but Living Single is definitely one of the top shows. It was a great show. So I just wanted to answer that question as well. Boston is in the building. What's going on, J Dog? What's good, family? Hope everything is well. Still mad we lost to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Miss Debbie, what's going on out there? Blessings to everyone joining today. Yes, Miss Debbie, blessings to you. I hope your son is doing a little bit better on today. Nigel, what's going on, faithful? Just want to give a shout out to everybody. Shadow Vision is in the building too as well. Good morning. Listen, John Lynch spoke yesterday. And before we get into it, the latest in 49ers news. So Tabor Pepper, we already talked about him signing, but the 49ers made it official yesterday. He is the long snapper for the next 3 years. And the more interesting one is the 49ers tendered Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings will be tendered this year, which means they own his rights for another year, and his rights are roughly about $900 and something thousand. And Jawan Jennings will be the number 3 wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers in this upcoming year. And so when you look at the Jawan Jennings situation, I know a lot of people are a little bit confused because he was a draft pick a few years ago. He should be on that 4-year deal, but you got to remember that Jawan Jennings was cut. He got injured. I believe his rookie season. Then he went on the IR. Then when he came back, he went to the practice squad. So because he was released and cut from the team, that rookie contract was null and voided. And then, it comes back down to when they re-signed him to the practice squad. And then from the practice squad, he signed to the team. So I will say that Jawan Jennings, to me, is going to be a breath of fresh air. I would not be surprised. What do you guys think? All right, over or under? Jawan Jennings, 5 touchdowns in 2023. Over or under 5 touchdowns? Let's see how many overs and how many unders we get real quick as you're watching the show. I personally feel like I'm going to go with the push. I'm going to go with a push at 5. I think he gets 5 touchdowns this year, Jawan Jennings, but over or under. All right, so we got some overs. I like that. So when you think of over, I'm thinking, 2 overs. Troy saying under. All right. NBN Pineapple says over. Nia with the over. Trey Thorough with the under. I'm pushing at 5. I know I didn't give that as an option, but I'm pushing at 5. Ooh, now we got some stipulations. D'Angelo Evans in the building says if Lance plays over. Ooh, if Lance plays over. All right. I could dig that. Ty saying over. The High Terra saying over. I like the overs. I like this. What does this mean? Here's the thing. Avatar says under. If he gets over 5 touchdowns, he clearly won't be a 49er in 2024. You guys do know this, right? You guys know if Jawan Jennings gets more than over 5 touchdowns, he just earned himself a contract with the team. It's kind of like he's going to be following in that Kendrick Bourne footsteps. When Kendrick Bourne became a free agent, he ended up signing with the New England Patriots. All right. So a lot of people were saying over, and that's cool. And I'm for it. Just know that Jawan Jennings will be clearly gone. Even Kenneth, my man, Kenneth is saying over. I like it, though. I love it. It's funny because we complain about him dropping passes, but he doesn't drop touchdown passes. So let's see. When we're saying over, I like it because I feel like he's going to be utilized in the red zone. And this is a great move for the 49ers because it's a bargain deal. You're going to get a number 3. You're going to get a wide receiver that can produce. You're going to get 3rd and Jawan for $900,000. That's amazing, right? 3rd and Jawan, the guy that converts 3rd downs at a high percentage for 900 G's. Not even a cool meal. That's crazy. That's crazy. I like the over. I like the over. I'm pushing. I think the number is 5. I think he stands pat at 5. I'm pushing. A lot of balls to be spread around. Pause. But I'm pushing at 5. Love Juwan Jennings, and I'm hoping that when he comes back in 2000, this season right here, he balls out, man. I'm rooting for him. He's the underdog of the team, and I'm glad that he's still going to be a part of this team. And I'm hoping that he takes, if this is what we call adversity, right? If he takes this adversity, I hope he takes this and smacks the hell out of it in the face, and he goes out there and wins him a contract. Because I can tell you right now, if he gets over them 5 touchdowns, he is going to be playing wide receiver for another team in 2024. You know what I'm saying? So I can do that. And yeah, this whole Kylie says, he has to improve on his drops. You know what, Kylie? All the wide receivers do. But since we're talking about Jawan Jennings, you're right. He has to get better. And I wonder if the drop C's are more like, man, I'm trying to make a play afterwards or whatnot. Like I'm trying to catch it, but I'm running before I secure the catch type of thing. I feel like that's what you're getting from the 49er players. You know what I'm saying? that's what you're getting. What is Terradone talking about? Pause at 12 minutes. That's a personal best. I got to 11 minutes in the show. I hit you with the first pause. You know what I mean? I had to do pause because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of footballs to be dispersed in 2023. I don't care who the quarterback is. We got a lot of weapons that are going to be there. Debo, George Kittle, uh, Brandon Ayuk. No, he's not getting traded, guys. We were just doing an exercise, and I don't want him traded anyway. So yes, Brandon Ayuk, Ray McLeod might get a better role. How about Danny Gray coming back, getting a larger role his second year? You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of footballs to be dispersed. All right. Look, and that's what I was trying to say, D'Angelo, to Kali when he was talking about he got to work on those drops. I mean, they all do. I think BA led the team in drops. Brandon Ayuk led the team in drops this year, if I'm not mistaken. But they all had their own fair share of drops. Can't forget Kyle Juszczyk. Can't forget Christian McCaffrey. Can't forget Elijah Mitchell. There's just a lot of weapons that the 49ers are going to have in their arsenal. So it's going to be very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very interesting. All right. So those were the first two things. That was like the latest in 49ers news. If you want to say that there was any news popping, the Tabor Pepper signing, we talked about that on Monday. And I like the Tabor Pepper signing because like I said, I like to bring back continuity. I like to bring back familiarity. I like to bring back what mother freaking works. And Tabor Pepper works. You don't hear Robbie Gold. You don't hear Mitch Wisnowski complaining, right? You don't hear whoever's holding the balls, pause, complaining, So Tabor Pepper works, and I'm glad that he was able, to work out a deal, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. And it was interesting. Like if you go and watch his story, he was in the hospital. He was working on his deal in the hospital. Like the kid is just amazing, and I can't wait to see him back out there, especially in practices. He's definitely vibrant on the internet, social media, all that good stuff. Really great person. So it's good to have him back. Let's get to some more of the 49ers. Let's start with John Lynch because John Lynch talked about a lot of things, and I have a docket here, and I want to talk about the John Lynch presser. Hold on one second. And we have a bunch of nuggets to break down. John Lynch presser nuggets. All right. And so whatever I forget, I'm sure you guys will remember. So let me just go ahead and scroll that at the bottom of the screen, and I got my little notepad right here. And we're gonna end, we're gonna end the show with bringing you guys on talking about a specific topic. All right. Don't forget that the NFL Combine is this week. It will start tomorrow. You're gonna get your defensive linemen and your linebackers performing on tomorrow. All right. Like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, is when it starts. So you're going to get your defensive linemen. That's your edge rushers. That's your defensive tackles. And then your linebackers are going to be running. Don't forget, we drafted Nick Bosa, Drake Jackson. These all had great combines, right? How about Fred Warner had a great combine? I'm just thinking of those from the combine that performed that are, now on the team. So look, pay attention. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. 1 p.m. NFL Network. All right. Defensive linemen and your linebackers will be going down. It's going to be crazy. Don't forget about it. I'm gonna be tuned in, glued to the television set all day tomorrow. I don't know what I got to do tomorrow, but I can't wait to watch the 40, especially on the big guys. 40 on the big guys. I can't wait to watch the 40 on the big guys. The Marcus wants to know about Tajay Sharp. Is that the wide receiver from the Falcons? I can't remember who he played for. You know what I'm saying? Just remind me, give me a refresher. I'll have to look that up. Tajay Sharp. I don't think the 49ers, and before we get into the John Lynch pressure, I don't think that the 49ers should bring in another wide receiver as far as a veteran. I feel like they're filled with veterans now. I feel like their younger guys are now vets. I would continue bringing in the young guys. I would draft a wide receiver or sign a wide receiver off of the undrafted pool. Like there's gonna be plenty. There's gonna be plenty of wide receivers out there. Tajay Sharp, we just get him out. I just want to see who he played for last. It says he played for the Titans last. That's kind of like what I'm looking for. But I remember him playing for the Falcons. I don't know why I thought he played for the Falcons. Maybe he did play for the Falcons. But Tajay Sharp, listen, I don't think they need to get another guy in here as a vet. I feel like they can use Ray McLeod and kickoff returns and special teams. It looks like that's what some of the stuff Tajay Sharp can do. And I'm with D'Angelo, man. You can get slots out here. The wide receiver class is huge in this draft. I wouldn't sign any in free agency, and I would necessarily go ahead and bring him in. We signed him last season, and didn't we release him? I thought we did. So like he's a familiar face. He came in and worked out. But hey, um I don't think they need to bring in anybody. I feel like their wide receiver core is set, and I think that they can go ahead and draft a couple of guys if they feel like they want to bring in some competition. But you know what, DeMarcus? Good name to keep your eye on. We did have him in here at camp. And they might bring him in and again, they might sign him in the offseason, fill up. Remember, we got to fill up a 90-man roster. So I don't want to like denounce anybody's ideas out there. You know what I'm saying? We got to fill up 90-man roster. Top 51 got to fit under the cap. There could be a bunch of guys that they bring in. You might be right, DeMarcus. So Tajay Sharp may be back. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. And Terradome says he was signed to our practice squad, released November 3rd. So it's a possibility that they might bring him back in. And then Ty also says we have Tay Martin as well on the practice squad. So again, 90 men, when we get down to that, far from now, when we get to the 90-man roster, there's going to be multiple players that the 49ers are going to have to sign. We have to sign 90 men, and then they have to work themselves out. So it could be a possibility that they bring Tajay Sharp in. But I think if they draft a guy, there's some guys that they can get in this draft that are going to be available on all rounds. Let's get to the John Lynch pressers. Let's start with let's see what I have on my docket. Let's start with the obvious. Let's start with the Nick Bosa deal. It's going to break the bank. Anyone that I don't care. Like, I want them to pay Nick Bosa whatever he's asking for. Now, John Lynch says it's going to take some time to get done because it's going to be the deal where he's going to be the highest paid edge rusher of all time, until somebody breaks that, So Nick Bosa, they are working on getting Nick Bosa a deal. And I think that is going to be fair. You got to pay the man, defensive player of the year. He'll probably get defensive player of the year again and again. Hopefully he's an all pro. I mean, what more else can you say about Nick Bosa? Here's what I'm hoping Nick Bosa gets in 2023 after he gets his contract, right? And I'm hoping that they get it. So guys, July, August, Nick Bosa will be signed to the 49ers with his deal, right? That's kind of like the 49ers way. But here's what I'm hoping he gets in 2023. Holding calls. I would take holding calls over a sack any day. I know he wants the sacks, but if he stopped getting held on every play, Nick Bosa have like 40 sacks a year. Easily 40 sacks. Easily. So I'm hoping once this deal is signed, once he's already made it known that he is the defensive player of the year, right? The league has him on blast. He's recognized well across the league. He's loved well across the league, right? Now he's going to get his contract. He's going to be the highest paid defensive player in the game, right? And now it's time for the refs to sit there and start saying, we got to start calling holding, we got to start saying that he's held on every play. So the Nick Bosa thing is something that stuck out, and I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go to the return of Brian Greasy. All right, the quarterback's coach is going to be coming back to play the same role, if not maybe a little bit more responsibility for Brian Greasy. And I really love this. First of all, I'm probably the only person that actually loved the signing. No one else figured it out. I remember people coming to me asking me what I thought about it because Brian Greasy is a Michigan alum. You know what I'm saying? He played quarterback for Michigan as well. And then he has some NFL experience as well. He has a championship. I believe he's on the championship team. And when I look at Brian Greasy, I felt like, he didn't need experience as a quarterback's coach to coach the quarterbacks. Now you look at our quarterbacks and you say, man, they did some things this year, right? I felt like there was an upgrade in Jimmy Garoppolo. I felt like Trey Lance, well, we didn't get enough time to see what he was doing to work with Trey Lance. We kind of got to put that one on pause, but it did look like in the Seattle Seahawks game, he was going to be electric throwing the ball as well as running the ball. I'm just pointing that out there, but let's talk about the development of Brock Purdy, and that's all Brian Greasy. That's like, Brock coming in here with his skill set and Brian, getting it to maximizing his skill set and putting it to the test. And Brock Purdy looked really good, right? Looked amazing out there. We have to credit Brian Greasy. Like, this is what he was brought in for. You go back to Rich Scangarello, like, I wanted his ass out of here just as much as I wanted Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like, it was time to move on. We got a super sticker. Shout out to my man Edgar Ascoli. He gets the super sticker. And you get the foghorn, man. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you, my family, for the super sticker. But like, I'm thinking, like, I'm saying to myself, look, Rich Scangarello was just not good. Like, he was good when before Jimmy got injured, and then all of a sudden, bam. What's going on, Keith? What's going on, family? And then exactly, you talk about Scangarello, right? He ended up getting fired from a college team, which lets you know that he just wasn't good. So I was glad that the 49ers moved on from him. I do know that the real RMP, hold that thought. We're going to talk about that toward the end of the show. I promise you, we'll talk about that toward the end of the show. But Rich Scangarello came and he was gone. You bring in Brian Greasy. No one knew. It was unknown on how he was going to respond to these types of quarterbacks. And I thought, he got Brock Purdy to play good. He got Jimmy Garoppolo to be better. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do with Trey Lance. All right. So let's just leave it at that. But I'm happy that Brian Greasy is back. Okay. That's good for the 49ers. Again, bringing back what's familiar. Bringing back what's familiar. That's important. That's super important. Please tell me I didn't delete my notes. No, I didn't. All right, so bringing back what's important, that bringing back what's familiar, super important. You guys are cutting on Scangarello. That's so funny. Let's talk about this guy right here, and I know everybody is going to be excited if this goes down. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. All right, and Mike, Tony, and we talked about this last night briefly. To Sean Gibson. So John Lynch spoke about Sean Gibson. And he said that Deshaun Gibson wants to come back and play for the 49ers. But I thought the more important part was that he said that the 49ers want him to come back. Like, they want him back here. Like, that was the other part. I was like, part B, you know what I'm saying? That they want him back just as much as he wanted to come back. Now, you know that old saying, money talks, bull crap walks, right? So we're going to have to really figure this out. We're talking about a 33-year-old a safety that's going to be returning to the 49ers. Here's the question. At the safety position, would you rather have Sean Gibson or Jimmy Ward? I don't have time to make polls today, but just type in the chat, Gibson or Jimmy Ward. I'm just curious. Now, let me just put out some stats. Jimmy Ward, I think, finished the season with 3 interceptions. Sean Gibson finished the season with 5 Interceptions. I could be wrong about Jimmy Ward. Let me look up his stats. Let me not be wrong. Stand by. But I know Tashawn Gibson led the 49ers in interceptions. So that I do know. All right. So that's important. Um, I guess my question is who's the better safety? Now I'm not saying that to bring back Jimmy Ward. I just want to know because I mean I personally I do want Jimmy Ward back. I'm not gonna lie. He did have 3 interceptions. Look at Breezy. I'm so good. Like I'm good. I remember things. Um, you get a ball hawking guy. He looked amazing out there. How much of that though gets credit to the defensive line? But then there were times where I felt like Gibson was just off tangent. Jimmy Ward, I felt like I wish we could have watched them play safety one more year. Oh, you guys are voting. I'm sorry. I started looking up the stuff. My bad. Terradome says Gibson is a solid safety, especially for the money. We don't know the money part though. We like he so this is what I'm trying to say, you know. He did have a great season with us, Keith. Ty saying he's going with Gibson for sure. Kylie saying, but how much gas does he have left? Jimmy Ward is 2 years younger. 49er Jeff is going with Jimmy Ward. What's going on, fam? Crazy Juice is going Gibson. Niner Rich is Gibson. Luke the Don says Gibson because he will be cheaper. He will be cheaper than Jimmy Ward. The question is how much cheaper. My man Uncle Scott says Gibson as well. Gammon is saying Ward. Niner Rich, cheaper. I'm thinking you talk about Gibson as well. D'Angelo says I would let Gibson go and sign Ward, put Lenore at the slot. We're gonna talk about Lenore next. With the other cornerbacks fresh off the IR. Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Keith Cobb says a little slow in man to man, but great when ball is in the air. Yeah, he's not a man to man guy. But hear me out. We're gonna play a lot more zone. Okay. Just letting you know right now. Get ready for zone. Okay, we're gonna be playing a lot more zone, or whatnot because of Steve Wilkes. Just get ready to get ready for that. Terra Note says value wise, Gibson is your guy for the money and production. Gibson and draft one, yeah, yeah. Miss Debbie says seems Jimmy's already said goodbye, so Gibson in that case, okay, Gibson. But I'm worried that he aged, that he's gonna fall off a cliff. Like the question is like what like you never know when Father Time catches up to you. Like, and we just don't want it to be us. Like, you know what I mean? Parma T is like bring back Gip. I like this. I don't know what this arrest warrant for Carter. What a shame. I don't know what you guys are talking about with Carter. I'm missing out on the news out there, so I have to look that up. But it is what it is. CJ puts out here that Gibson's gonna be a 33-year-old safety. The money isn't going to be high. Okay, all right, but his production was high. And I'm not saying it's going to be high as the safety market because I think that what's the kid from Cincinnati? I think he sets the market, and then it's going to be slightly under him. So I think it'll be oh my gosh, how did I forget his name? Safety from Cincinnati. He'll set the market. I think Jimmy Ward will be under. Uh, and then I think see Chauncey Gardner Johnson to be there. You got Von Bell. So yeah, like he won't be hot Bates. Thank you. Jesse Bates. Silly me, right? He won't be as a high, the 49ers will definitely be able to get a bargain. The question is, with that, like what's gonna happen if Father Time catches up with him? And so, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, cause like, will the defenses start attacking him now, knowing that he's getting up there in age? I mean, I would if I was a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see because it's kind of like his decision at the end of the day. Here's my thoughts about this. Right, I personally want Deshaun Gibson to come back to the San Francisco 49ers, sign a 1 to 2 year deal or whatever it is, 35, 2 years, sign another a 1 year deal, give him some guarantees, give him some incentives to work on that contract. You get what I'm saying? I think that would be really, really cool, right? Because number one, he likes to play with Hufunga. And now, like maybe that was his resurgence of playing so well. You get what I'm saying? He was playing with this young kid, and it was like, yo, I'm not gonna let this young kid outdo me. And at one point, they was battling for interceptions. I like the competition back there. Here's what I love about Gibson and Hufanga. Like they were interchangeable. They went from the box, they went deep. They would do both. And that's the one thing that I loved about what Gibson was able to do. Did he get turned around and confused a couple of times? For sure. Saw that with Jimmy Ward as well when he played safety. Remember the Super Bowl? All I'm saying is, like, I asked about this, like, who would you rather have, Jimmy Ward or at the safety position? Because the reason why, and Ms. Debbie said, it seems like he said his goodbyes is because Jimmy Ward wants to play safety, Ms. Deb, and the 49ers feel like, you know, they're going to look at Tashawn Gibson because he played it very well. Okay. And they're going to give him another shot. The question is, will he be able to do it again, aging? And that's going to be a question that we're just going to have to figure out. But the good news is he wants to play for the Niners, and the 49ers want him to play for the Niners. So I think that's pretty cool. I do see us drafting a safety. Hopefully, we didn't draft one last year. We ended up signing, Leon? Oh my gosh. We ended up signing a kid as a safety, and he was released. So there's gonna be some safeties out there. I'm hoping that we'll be able to snag one of them suckers in the draft. Pay attention to the combine. It's gonna be really cool to watch some of these safeties. All right, so we got Tashawn Gibson off the docket. Let's keep the docket going. Next up, told you he was dropping nuggets, man. Like serious nuggets, and I thought it was really cool. All right, so next up on the docket, let's talk about Diamador Lenore. Okay, I thought this was cool. Lenore. Okay, I think that's what he likes to be called. And John Lynch said that he was the breakthrough player of the year. I thought that was so dope for this young kid. Diamador Lenore, breakthrough player of the year, according to John Lynch. And he, to cap off what John Lynch said about Demo, he said that he isn't going anywhere. Leon O'Neal, you guys got really good memories. That's what's going on. See what happens when you get older? Really good memories. Diamador Lenore, breakout through player of the year, according to John Lynch. He talked about how the kid came in. He had to face adversity, do this, do that. One of the best DBs that they had, was asked to be the number 2 guy. They had Mooney Ward already. Manuel Mosley goes down. I got a question that's going to rive up some things. All right. Niners all damn day says, oh, wait, hold up. He says, Breezy, if I don't say it, if you said it or not, are you going to the combine? No, I'm not going to be able to make it to the combine this year. I do apologize. I got my credentials, but I just couldn't get coverage for the stuff that I have here on this side. So I won't be able to be there, but I'll be there in spirit for sure, 49er Jeff. Demo is decent now. Didn't he only give up 1 touchdown last year? Yeah, it was a crazy stat. Like that. Let me see if I can look up Diamador Lenore stats, yo. I have him better than decent. I think he's emerged to a starting quarterback in the NFL, mainly for the 49ers. All right, so let me just do here's his stats. You ready? 60 solo tackles. He was a great tackler, by the way. He was 13th in tackling in the cornerback position. So he finished 13th or tied at 13th. He tied 41st with he had 1 interception. He should have had a pick 6 as well. He was targeted 88 times. He allowed 63 receptions. Trying to find out if I could find out that number. He liked that. I mean, like he was playing over a lot, and it was like a lot of underneath stuff that he was giving up. Those were the main majority of his yards. Played 589 snaps. All right, so he definitely got a lot more burn. I felt like he improved year 1 to year 2, and I think year 3 is going to be even better if he has the mentality that I know he has. You know what I'm saying? Y'all saying that he's not a starting cornerback yet? I like this. So let's have this question, all right? Because I think my question is simply this. All right. All in sports betting says Demo is a great corner to come off the bench. If he gets better this offseason, he could be a solid starter. Okay. I just want to read some of the comments. Demo Lenore came on the last part of the year. That pick versus the Cowboys was epic. Demo will benefit tremendously with Wilkes here. Remember, Steve Wilkes is a secondary specialist too, as well. Just want to remind you guys of that. His back pedal was a little high. When he corrects it, watch out. So, like, he's still improving. I get that. I get it a lot. Demo's not a starting corner yet. Did he give up that long TD to AJ Green? I got to go back and watch it. I don't remember if it was him or if it was the safety. I felt like that was on the safety to Sean Gibson. I could be wrong though. Oh, he did give up the touchdown. All right, so they said that he I got to go back and rewatch it. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't remember the plays, but I thought he did fine. I really did, especially stepping up. And I remember he beat out Samuel Womack for the nickel spot. This is where you guys want him to play. And then on top of that, once Emmanuel Mosley went down, he jumped in at the number 2 spot and nobody took it from him. So that says something, right? That says something. You know what I mean? I think that says something in my opinion. I really thought the safety was supposed to be there on that, but it is what it is. Size is his weak spot. It definitely is. He has to learn how to play when there are bigger wide receivers on him, but this is where he can get better. I thought he should have made the tackle too. So did he get beat on the play? Yes. But I think he felt like he thought he had help over the top, and then Sean Gibson like stopped and then didn't like I don't know. It was a weird. I'm telling you, it was Sean Gibson. Like that was weird. That was weird. Thank you, Kylie. I remember. I now see how it's coming back to my memory. I remember this now. I remember it now. Let's bring back the play. I don't have it to pull up right now, but let's talk about it because now I remember it like it was yesterday. You ready? Here we go. All right. There was a fake to the other side, and Sean Gibson bit hard on the run fake. And the ball was thrown to AJ Green on the opposite side. Once Sean Gibson realized he made a mistake, he tried to run back. He took a bad angle on his run back. AJ cut back on the inside, and then it was like it's just stopped to Sean Gibson. And then that's how he scored. But there was a push off. It was not called on Diamador Lenore. So Demo Lenore was pushed. And that's how AJ Green was able to create the separation. Thank you. See what we do for each other here? We help build each other up. We're not tearing each other down. If I forget something, you guys remember something, and all of a sudden the memory comes back right back to me. That's what happened on that play. All right. So listen, look, Diamador Lenore. And the reason why I brought this up, you ready? Diamador Lenore. Is there a possibility that we don't see the return of Emmanuel Mosley because they like what they have in Demo? They may want to give Ambry Thomas another shot, and they might look to draft somebody else. What do you guys think about that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that might be. Ooh, that might be. Hey, we got a new subscriber to the channel. Let's get the air horn going out, man. What I'm talking about. Shout out to PTB. Appreciate you, man, on the subscription to the channel. All right. I'm telling you, is he looking to get paid? Well, that's a dumbass question, right? Because of course he's looking to get paid. Of course he's looking to get paid. But honestly, how much money can he ask for coming off of a season-ending injury? And here's the thing. We all want Emmanuel Mosley back, right? Thumbs up, right? We all want him back. What if the 49ers lowball his ass? They be like, hey, man, you couldn't stay healthy, man. But I tell you what, we're going to hit you with this 1-year deal. Man, you play for like $1 million, man. And, it was not going to be much. What was the Jason Verrett deal? Does anybody remember the Jason Verrett deal? If you guys remember the Jason Verrett deal, please put that inside the chat. That's going to be the Emmanuel Mosley deal. It's going to be incentive based, and he's going to have to go out there and figure, work his way back. And it sucks for him because yo, yo, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna offend somebody, and don't be mad. The way Emmanuel Mosley was playing last year, what's going on, Alberto? The way he was playing last year, he was the best cornerback on the team. The way Emmanuel Mosley was playing last year, he was the best cornerback on the team. I said it. I love you, Mooney Ward. I do, but Emmanuel Mosley was balling and man, balling in zone. He was balling. I didn't know if I was good because some people might not feel that way. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right, here we go. This is what I asked for. I love you, Kylie. It was close, but he was balling, bro. Like, and the reason why I know he was balling, Kylie, is because they were testing him. Remember, they weren't testing mostly at first. They respected him. They respected him. All right, so I can't tell what the real thing is. It couldn't have been this much, right? That's a lot of money. It couldn't have been that much, right? 5.5 million. This sounds more like it. And then I think this is what it ended up coming down to, the 838,000, and he would have made up to this. I hope it wasn't 5.5 million. If so, that takes my theory and throws it out of the window. It throws it out of the window. Okay, there we go. Okay, the one there. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, this is what it had to be. Expect this for Emmanuel Mosley. And the reason being is this is a veteran minimum type of a contract deal. And here's what I think the 49ers do though. They laden it heavy with incentives, right? Because they know the potential of Emmanuel Mosley. So I think the number will be low, the guarantee will be decent, right? But then it's going to be like, if you could get 4 interceptions, you'll get this bonus. And if we get to the Super Bowl playoffs, you get a bonus. And if we get to the NFC Championship, you get a bonus. And then if we get to the Super Bowl, you get a bonus. If we win the Super Bowl, you get a bonus. And so those are incentives. You know what I'm saying? But what was so dope was the fact that John Lynch came out and said that he was the breakthrough player of the year, Diamador Lenore, and with Demo being a breakthrough player, what if they're all in on Demo? They got Samuel Womack there, they got Ambry Thomas there, Quantrez Knight is there. They got some DBs in the building, and then they draft another couple of players. What if they move on from the injured players? Jason Verrett, in my opinion, is done. You know, and I think I don't want Emmanuel Mosley to be done, but there's a possibility that they lowball him. He doesn't like it. It causes bad juju, and he doesn't return. Diamador Lenore, not Diamador Lenore, Javon Kinlaw. Uh, you know, John Lynch spoke a little bit about Javon Kinlaw as well. Said that he is, rehabbing there at the facility, but as he's practicing as well. Like he's out there training and rehabbing at the facility. We're not going to spend too much time on Javon Kinlaw because I think the consensus on Javon Kinlaw right now is that the faithful are ready to move on. There are rumors saying that the 49ers may cut him post June 1st. Okay, so there's some rumors out there, and I get it. Like he just hasn't been able to produce. So I totally get it. I get it. I get why people want to move on. If the 49ers don't move on from Javon Kinlaw, okay? If they choose that they're not going to move on from Javon Kinlaw, okay? That's don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Shout out to my man, Forever Blesses in the building. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Air horns to you. Man, you've been on the show 800,000 billion times. Can't wait to have you back on here. Hope school is going well for you. Are you a senior now? I feel like time is flying. Let me know. Hit me up. You got my number. Text me. But I appreciate you for becoming a member of the channel, man. I truly thank you for supporting us over here. Look, let's talk about Javon Kinlaw. Poor Kinlaw. He's a bust. I get it. But it's like, what if all right, let's say this. Let's say they don't cut him. Okay. Let's say Javon Kinlaw has, ooh, God, Jesus. Let's say Javon Kinlaw has a tremendous season. I'm going with Kinlaw here as I don't like calling players bust. Y'all know I hate that. To answer your question, Carly, I'm going Kinlaw. At least Thomas played. He just wasn't good. Kinlaw just can't play, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna move on from Javon Kinlaw. I don't want this. This is not, that's not my intentions. It's just that John Lynch said that he saw him out there training, he saw him out there rehabbing. So at least he's at the team facility, getting some work in, and trying to get right. Trying to get right. Don't know if he's out there trying to shed more weight. We do know he has knees, and two more things, guys, we're gonna get to. And then I'm gonna have you guys on for a little bit. All right. So let's talk about this situation. Let's get to this because this was the most intriguing stuff. I mean, if you got any other nuggets from my man John Lynch, cool. But that's not what I like. I'm cool here. Here's the thing. Shadow Vision says, "How do I join? How to join? There's no join button. Only says subscribe." All right. So if you're watching you have to join. You can't join off the app, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're watching on the YouTube app on your phone, you can't join from there. You would have to go to type in youtube.com backslash at the Wayne Breezy, watch it from the channel from your web browser. Then those buttons, I believe, will pop up. I do not think the buttons to join the channel are built into the app as of right now. Okay. So he might not be watching it from like a browser. So you have to go to a browser and do it. All right. But thank you, Shadow Vision. I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about the quarterbacks, baby. Okay. I was talking about the quarterbacks, baby. Okay. Christy Marie says she did with an iPhone. Did you do it from the app, the YouTube app though, Christy, or did you do it from the web browser like Safari? Just curious. Oh no, Kenneth says you can join from that. My apologies. At one point, they didn't have that button there. So maybe if you have an iPhone, you can do it. All right. So anyway, let's talk about the quarterbacks because he spoke about all three quarterbacks. All right. And let's start with the first quarterback. I'm gonna go in this order. All right. I'm gonna go Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance. All right. That's the order I'm going in, whether you like it or not. All right, here we go. Jimmy Garoppolo, he said, quote, that his time it's run its course. You know what I'm saying? So have we heard this all before? Like, what did we hear last year about the Jimmy Garoppolo situation? And somehow he ended up back as the quarterback. And this, listen. First of all, I just want to thank Jimmy Garoppolo for his time, his vision, his leadership, and getting this team back to a winning culture. Okay, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. But hearing Kyle Shanahan earlier, during the end of the season pressers saying that they're done, and then hearing John Lynch said that his time has run its course, the Jimmy Garoppolo's time is run its course here in San Francisco, just was like a breath of fresh air because it was just like, okay, they're going to now they're going to move on, and here's why: he's healthy, I hope. And so remember last year they said the same thing, but he was unhealthy. He was rehabbing from an injury. And that was a red flag to all the teams. But here's the thing, he's rehabbing from another injury. And so I'm hoping and I'm praying that this injury doesn't draw so many red flags. Now, there's word on the street that he's going to be looked at by several teams. And whichever team Jimmy Garoppolo goes to, I'm not going front. I'm gonna support and be happy because Jimmy was a 49er and he definitely helped us win. He helped us get back to that winning culture. He helped change the culture here in San Francisco. So I'm grateful for him. But like he said, I'm like John Lynch, yo. The time has run its course. All right. So that was the Jimmy Garoppolo, news. So it's kind of confirming what we've been thinking and feeling, but it's hard for 49er fans to accept until Jimmy Garoppolo is literally on another team. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a free agent starting March, when the new league year starts on March 7th. It's going to be on March whatever. He's going to be a free agent. He's no longer going to be under contract, but because he won't necessarily be signed to another team, he will still be tied into the San Francisco 49ers. You know what I'm saying? Last year was different, Thomas. You're 100% correct. And they were trying to trade him last year. And they had trades on the table last year. Unfortunately, the injury situation hindered those trades. And for that reason, they thought that they were moving Jimmy Garoppolo. So it was like they had deals available and ready to go with. And then those, they reneged on those deals because of the situation that Jimmy Garoppolo was in due to his injury. But you're 100% correct. He was under contract for one more year. Here's the thing, though. There was no guaranteed money or whatnot. And that's why the 49ers were trying to move on. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they were trying to move on. Unfortunately, this year, he's not under contract. He fulfilled his contract, but Jimmy Garoppolo will be playing for another team. Let's talk about Brock Purdy because I didn't know if I wanted to get super excited or not because I'm kind of just waiting on the doctors when it comes to Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy, according to John Lynch, is going to be meeting this week with Dr. Meister. Okay, he's going to be meeting with him, and they are hopefully after their meeting this week, later on this week, hopefully after the meeting, then there will be a scheduled surgery for next week. And this is great news, right? This is great news. Brock Purdy is going to get attended to. He's going to get fixed. He's going to be able to start his rehab, and he's going to come back healthy. And this is great news to have. But like I said, we still have to wait. So we don't know. So he might meet with a doctor and he's still inflamed. And then guess what? They can't perform the surgery. And then they have to wait longer and longer and longer. And at that point, the question comes down to what are the 49ers going to do at the quarterback position? And we'll dive into that very shortly. Trey Lance spoke about Trey Lance, said some really good things about Trey Lance. Said he's able to watch him practice. He's able to watch him throw. He did say he didn't know if he was at 100% on the ankle, but he says he's out there throwing and he looks good. He started glowing about Trey Lance. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I saw him glowing when he was talking about Trey Lance. And then they asked him about, why did they choose Trey Lance? And he kind of broke it down and said, listen, we drafted this kid because of this, because of this. He's a leader. He's a student to the game. He's very smart. And simply, he's a dual quarterback. He can run and he can throw. And so, this is all the stuff that we've been confirming. The only thing for us is we argue well, damn, well, how well can he do those things though, John? Because, he did say that Trey Lance just has to do one thing. Stay healthy. Well, what do you know? It's all we've been talking about on this show for the past several months. Give the kid a chance. He's just been unhealthy. If the kid can play, if the kid can be healthy, he could probably do some things we haven't seen in a very long time. And John Lynch confirmed it. He said, listen, the kid could throw, the kid could run, the kid's smart, the kid could do this. And we're happy to have him here. Okay? The only issue is he has to stay healthy, which reverts me back to Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy Garoppolo, again, couldn't stay healthy. And that was one of the reasons why the 49ers wanted to move on. So Trey Lance, whatever you got to do, man, stay healthy. And since we're talking about quarterbacks, the show is about the quarterbacks market because one of the things John Lynch said is that, we may have to look into the quarterback market, right? The quarterbacks market this year. And so I have a list of quarterbacks that I'm going to somehow type up, right? And I'm going to put them and I'm going to scroll it at the bottom of the screen. And in the meantime, I want to know from you which quarterback off of this list do you think the 49ers are going to sign? All right. I'm going to get the first 5 people on here that click on the link. All right. The first 5 people on here that click on the link, you will have your time to come on the show. All right. So we got Marcus Mariota, Teddy Bridgewater. All right. These are some of the free agent quarterbacks that are going to be available. Jacoby Brissett. Here with me, Taylor Heineke. Sorry. I like Heineken's. Cooper Rush. A lot of people like Cooper Rush. All right. We got Cooper Rush. Garden Minshew. All right. I think he'll go back to Philly. It's got this weird feeling. Forgot about Case Keenum. Don't want him, but I forgot about him. Case Keenum. Andy Dalton. See old man Andy here. It's crazy. Sam Darnold. What if this was somebody that they had on their radar? Baker Mayfield? Lord knows, please don't bring in Bake. Chicken bake, half bake, whatever bake. That I don't even know if that would work. Nick Bosa would be trying to sack him. And last but not least, Carson Wentz. All right. So here are the quarterbacks. And matter of fact, I'm going to scroll those at the bottom of the screen. So bear with me. All right, there we go. These are your quarterbacks that are available on free agency. I'm going to put the link inside the chat right now. First 5 people on here, first 5 people that click on the link will be able to participate in this little show. I want to get your thoughts on this. All right. I'll try to look and pay attention to the chat as well. I see people saying Wentz, Minshew. I like that. Oh, you know who's not on this list? Jimmy Garoppolo. Should I add him to the list? Because he is a free agent. You know what? Let's add him to the list. Bump it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's add them to the list. I'm waiting to get the 5 people in here. I got my man Terradome in here. Jimmy Garoppolo. Remember, all right. So let's put him in there because he's a free agent. So why not? Why not bring him in here? You know. All right. Here we go. Mitch Trubisky is a free agent. Let me. You know what? Let's add Money Mitch to the list. We got to add Money Mitch. He said, "Don't put Garoppolo in there. I have to put him in there because he's a free agent, even though." Its time has passed. Its time has passed. All right, I see people coming in here right now. Let's go ahead and get them on the show. All right, I'm going to go in the order in which you come into the show. We have time for you guys, and then after that, we'll wrap the show up on this Wednesday. It's been a great show. Matt Ryan is a free agent. You know what? Let me add those guys in here. Bump it. My bad. Let me go Matt Ryan. Ooh. Who else am I missing off this list? Matt Ryan. Okay. Let's go. You said Mitch Trubisky. Didn't we trade up to draft? Didn't we finagle the Bears and whatever? It's a whole another conversation. All right. So here we go. Let's get Terra Dome on here. What's going on, bro?
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and you? Very, very, very well. How's the family?
Everybody's doing lovely, man. I see the proverbial trolls are out. Ramelia Sports out there. The Los Angeles Rams. You know they show up, man. Have you ever had those dirty kids in the neighborhood that show up at 5 o'clock every day? They know y'all cooking and they just want something to eat. I mean, Rams fans, don't you have a home? Don't you won't y'all go somewhere and eat? You know what I'm saying? You
Hey,
come and
man.
eat my food,
I,
and
I,
then they complain. Yeah, y'all got steak again.
right. I'm tired of steak, but don't eat it.
We'll go home.
Oh man. But listen, yo, you know what? The one thing about this show, everybody's welcomed. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying? I'm like a
yes.
church, and I want you to come in as is. My
Amen.
job, my goal is to persuade him to become a 49er fan. And I feel
Yes,
like at some point
he's gonna
he's
break.
gonna be one. He's gonna break.
He's gonna break. He keeps
Oh,
on. He knows all of our personnel. He
he
just
could be
keeps talking.
Rudy could be a spy though. He could be trying to look for those nuggets that we're gonna give out so that he can get his team prepared. You know what I mean? But nah, it's
That
all love. It's
it
all love.
has to be something. It's an obsession.
It's all
Every show. I was on Rambo last night, and here he goes
Oh, this is
showing
what you
up.
were talking about.
I'm like,
Okay.
it is 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing here?
I don't know. I love him though. I love
I do.
everybody.
I do.
I
Good to
didn't get this memo. So earlier in the chat, they were talking about Jalen Carter, and I didn't know what they meant. And so here it is. Great Tone 765 puts it out here and says, warrants out for draft prospect Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia.
I had heard something about that. a lot of these young guys get into stuff, man. I don't know if it was a domestic. If y'all can clear it up in the chat, I know Callie Young is, he's TMZ. Uh,
He
uh,
is TMZ.
yeah, if you
He's
can,
49ers TMZ. He needs a
he,
job with TMZ. He be
he
on.
is. He's like Adam Schefter, man. Just put something in there. Exactly what happened. I know something went on with the Alabama kid, the basketball player. Uh, it's stuff happening, and I'm just praying for my youth, man. They're being attacked by so many different things. You got gun
Yeah.
violence happening, and just just crazy stuff with the social media and everything. You just have to pray for these guys. Because it's just so much happening. The devil is busy. The devil is busy, but keep your minds focused and keep your minds reticent and stable. And in a storm, look for the lighthouse. Look
Oh
for the
no.
light.
It was a
Uh,
car crash that killed the
oh,
teammate.
oh,
Dang.
oh.
So this would be vehicular homicide. Not it'll be something. Yeah. Homicide.
Oh, well, it is really, really sad when something happens to uh, uh, a person himself. But when things happen and it affects families and other lives, it is truly tragic. Particularly the youth, because they never see so much of what they're supposed to see. Things like graduations, things like weddings, things like seeing that first baby born, taking them to school, and things of that nature. And you subsequently affect things into perpetuity, man, and it snatches that away from not only you but those affected and connected with those families. Vehicular manslaughter.
That's
Oh,
what it is. Not homicide. Vehicular manslaughter is what I
vehicular
meant to say.
manslaughter. Oh man. Oh man. Well,
Dang.
I'm praying for everybody affected, everybody within the sound of my voice, and everybody who isn't here. We live in some strange times. Anytime I look and see the news and see snow in Southern California, Tony didn't make a song about that.
They said it
It's
never rains.
Yeah, and things are just flipped. Things are amiss, and they forecasted this, and I think it's first chapter Timothy about strange things will occur in the final days, in the last days. Um, but stay prayed up, family. Hope is an acronym. It means hold on, pain ends, and have only a positive expectation. Continue to put your faith not in men, but in our Lord, our Christ Jesus. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, and continue to be faithful
Yeah.
as He is. Amen.
Amen.
Um,
Let's talk about this quarterback situation, bro,
the
because
QB.
we already know that the quarterback and the backup quarterback is solidified. But if Brock Purdy isn't able to return, who will back up Trey Lance? I think that's my question. And so, like, there's a list of quarterbacks down here at the bottom of the screen.
I see.
Uh, and I'm just curious to know, like, who would you want the 49ers to sign?
Wayne, I was looking at it, and
Oh,
it
I
hit me
forgot
in,
Nick
in an
Sexton.
epiphany last night. I didn't realize if Cooper Rush is out there as an unrestricted free agent,
He's out there as an unrestricted free agent.
we really got to look at bringing Cooper, and his last name is Rush. Gold Rush would sound really good coming in here if Brock isn't able to go, and if Trey, God forbid something happens to him. I would really like to have that Gold Rush as a third option here. He showed me in, I think it was 3 or 4 games with the Cowboys, man. He is accurate. He has command of the huddle. He does what he needs to do in the confines of the offense, which is very, very important, man. We're here in San Francisco. We don't ask you to be Superman. We just ask for you to be a very well-dressed Clark Kent. And I think Cooper Rush fits that bill. There's some other fine quarterbacks there. Matt Ryan, they call him Matty Ice, but that ice doesn't melt it. Trubisky, he done been around a little bit. Teddy Bridgewater is fine. Marcus Mariota, kind of one-dimensional. Jacoby Brissett could work out all right. Taylor Heineke has shown us flashes, but let's look at that Cooper Rush if you can get it. If you can get it.
Okay.
The red rifle is limited at best, but anybody is better than Josh Johnson.
Especially off this list. I'll take Sam Darnold. I'll take Baker Mayfield.
That day in Philly, I would have took anything.
Carson Wentz over Josh Johnson.
Anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just like wanted to get your thoughts on that. Very, very, very well spoken. I mean, I like the Cooper Rush pick. I'm not going to sit here and denounce it. I think that would be a great pickup. In my opinion, it would provide a great. Joe Flacco is also a free agent. It would provide a great battle in camp. Like it would push Trey Lance. I'm looking at which player on here is going to push him the most. I don't think Matt Ryan would push him. Mitch Trubisky wouldn't push him. Jimmy Garoppolo clearly didn't push him. Like Carson Wentz, hell no. Cooper Rush, yes. Taylor Heineke, yes. Like Bridgewater, you mentioned Bridgewater. I can't take Teddy B because the moment he steps on the football field, after the second play, he's gone. And then you're looking for another quarterback. Like, you know what I mean? Like he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he's got an injury history.
Yeah, he just can't stay healthy.
I like him, but I think we could be back in the same position with Teddy B. Yeah.
All right. I like that, man. I got to get Eddie G on here, but I do
appreciate
you for stopping by real quick, man, and giving me take on this quarterback situation. The fact that John Lynch said that they may be looking in the quarterback market makes me think that Brock Purdy might get healthy and not play, and they're all in on Trey, but they need to make sure they have the right guy.
Yeah, only doing contingency planning in airborne ops. We always jump with a reserve.
Yeah,
we don't jump out the plane without a reserve chute strapped to your front. You gotta plan.
There it is. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Love you, man.
All right, God bless, man. Love you.
Peace. Eddie G and the Bulldogs on his way. What's going on, family?
What's up, brother? How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing real good, man. I'm getting prepared to watch every second of the NFL Combine and try to figure out who the 49ers might be into. We're going to be wooed by some of these athletes, I can tell you right there, that won't be 49ers. So just get ready. Just get ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I like what you got going right now, brother. This off season is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a crazy one, man.
Appreciate it. Now, listen, John Lynch spoke about looking into the quarterbacks market. Here's some of the free agents I feel like that they might look at. There are Joe Flacco's out there. There are a couple of other people out there that aren't on this list, like Nate Sudfeld's out there as well. He's familiar with the system. What are your thoughts, man? Like, who do you feel the 49ers are going to sign? If they sign, they may draft a guy, but if they were to sign one of these guys, who would it be?
Teradon got to it first, but I'm backing it up. I'm really intrigued by the idea of Cooper Rush. Okay. He showed a lot of good stuff in Dallas when Dak went down. He stepped in there and he won. Did he win? I think he won all but one of the games, right?
Yeah, he didn't lose.
I thought. Yeah. So, I mean, he stepped in, he played well, he did what he had to do, nothing crazy. And, they showed some good potential as a backup there. Obviously, I mean, if I had to go, I had three in mind, three guys on that list in mind. Number one was Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm.
Number two was Heineke. He looked pretty good. He had flashes. And number three, and I think I don't want to say it's biased, but You were there, sir. I was there. Marcus Mariota. He he doesn't have the greatest arm. No, we all know that. But he came in there against us and did what he had to do to get that win, and took advantage of opportunity when his defense gave him opportunity. So I wouldn't count out Mariota. I think he could do some. He could help us with his legs and with some of those intermediate passes, and he could probably do pretty good.
Okay.
So he's the third one. Those are those three that I really had in mind off that list.
I, I feel like
Yeah,
those are my
Teddy
three.
Bridgewater, man.
I feel like those are my three as
Sorry.
well. Um, yeah, those are my three as well. I already spoke on the others. I, I like the Mariota one the best though. You're gonna be getting. I think he'll be going into his 8th year or 9th year. Can't remember. I think it's 8th year. He'll be going into his 8th year. He's played for. This will be his 4th team. He'll be coming into offense that he can easily run. And then you don't have to worry about him. He's really good at the read option. That's something that Kyle Shanahan's implementing for Trey Lance. He's learning that, right? And then he can stand in the pocket, go across the field. I'm not sure about him getting the ball down the field like it's deep, but I do know against the 49ers, he was accurate as fudge. I mean, like all the way accurate. And I mean, you could say it was our defense, it was bad, whatever, whatever, whatever. I don't care. I saw accuracy at his finest. And it was because of his ability to run and him making the defenses play honest, which is what Kyle Shanahan is
Yes.
trying to get Trey Lance to do. That's why people keep saying, why is he running? Why is he running? It's because he's trying to keep that defense honest. So that way when he drops back, the defense don't know what the hell is going to go down. Is Trey going to pull off a run? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. What's going on, Larry? See, what's going on, family? I like the Mariota pick. But all three of the ones that you said is going to be dope. My man 49er Jeff says he likes Case Keenum and Sam Darnold. What are your thoughts on that?
Case Keenum. See, these are two names. I don't know. I Sam Darnold. I've never been fully sold on. I don't know, and I don't watch him enough to have a great opinion about him. But there's a reason that he's not starting for a team. There's a reason, and Case Keenum had good time up in Minnesota, and he's done pretty well. But I think we need someone like you just said. That read option is so important. It's so important, and I think I don't know. My mindset right now is we're going to be going into the season with Trey as our star. That's my mindset, and
Okay.
whoever they get, I really think they're going to go get a veteran. We've got two young guys who we've seen what Purdy can do, and that was just awe inspiring to watch him play. He did amazing for.
I think your connection finally decided to give out. But I do agree with what you were saying over there, Eddie. So I'm gonna move you off, and if you come back on, I see you in the thing. I'll bring you back on. Alberto says Mariota under Brian Greasy, he would be really good. Like I'm not looking. And where's this comment? Jedi, this is funny. He says we are a traumatized fan base. We all want that third quarterback to be an All Pro, but he won't be. I'm not looking for the third quarterback to be an All Pro. I'm looking for a third quarterback to be experienced, to not be scared when he gets called to come into the game, to not be shaking in his boots. More importantly, to not turn the damn ball over. I think that's what you're looking for, and finding a way to keep your team afloat. That's what the third quarterback's job is. Now, God forbid if that third quarterback has to become a starter and take in the reps as a starter, like, yes, like they got to be able to step up and do that. And why not get a former starting first round pick at the quarterback position? It's not his fault he didn't work in Tennessee. It's not his fault, and Atlanta only cut him because of the cap. So if y'all want to know why he was let go, it wasn't because he wasn't like good enough. They're cap tight and they needed to free up $12 million. So if you want to know why Marcus Mariota was released, it was so that the Rams can free up some money to get underneath the cap. And so that's that. So I actually think that having like a guy like Mariota in here He might not be as expensive. He's a journeyman around the league now. You look at some of these other quarterbacks, they might cost you a little too much. I don't want to bring in a statue quarterback. I don't want an Andy Dalton. I don't want those older guys on this list. Teddy Bridgewater just doesn't make sense. I mean, he was good before injury, but now he can't stay healthy. You get what I'm saying? They benched him not due to play. They wanted to get their rookie quarterback in there. They drafted a kid and they wanted to get him in there. So I don't think it was because he was bad. Matter of fact, had they kept Mariota in there, it's possible they could have been contending. I'm just going to leave it at that. Same thing with the Washington Commanders. They benched Taylor Heineke for what? Like, it doesn't mean anything. Dynamite Day says he walked out on a team. Hey, are you talking about Tennessee? I don't remember him. Did he walk out on the Falcons? Hey, maybe they did him dirty, man. Sometimes people do you dirty and you react. Who knows? I don't really care about that. I'm just thinking about the way he plays. Wouldn't necessarily worry about anything like that. He comes to an organization. The culture in San Francisco is huge. And whoever the quarterback is going to be, I'm not trying to sell you on Marcus Mariota. I'm just thinking him in this offense, he's a taller quarterback. Like it would be amazing. It would be amazing, especially if the offense is catered to Trey Lance. I'm just gonna put it out that day. Yeah. Oh, he walked out on the Falcons. Hey man, if he walked out, he was made and left the team. All right, I gotta look into that story. But if he did, he was mad and left the team. Got you. Probably because they did him dirty. That's my point. Like, yeah. Like, I don't agree with walking out, but I mean, I walk out of conversation, so I don't be yelling at everybody sometimes. Sometimes you just got to walk away, blow off some steam. I don't know. It is what it is. But the cool thing is, Trey Lance looks like he's going to get the green light. Brock Purdy is going to get healthy because the surgery is on his way. And the question is, who's going to be that third guy? Now, don't forget, the NFL Combine is coming up, and there's a possibility that they draft a quarterback. All right, we didn't talk about that, but that is a possibility that they address the situation in the draft like they did with Brock Purdy. But remember, before they drafted Brock Purdy, they had Nate Sudfeld on the roster with guaranteed money. Don't forget. The question is, do they bring back Sudfeld, hit him with one of them crazy deals again, draft another quarterback just to see if he beats out Sudfeld? We don't know. We don't know. Oh, he was benched for Desmond Riddler, and then he left the team. Just saying, maybe he didn't feel like he should have been benched. This is what I'm saying. If I benched you to play this rookie, what would you do? There's always three sides to a story. Just saying. There's always three sides to a story. But we'll see. We'll see. He might not. And Terradome says he lacks the short, intermediate. He didn't against San Francisco. That remember, you guys don't remember, do you? You guys are clearly not remembering Marcus Mariota against the Niners. And I'm not going to use that one game, but this defied that because he was hella accurate in the short and intermediate accuracy routes and threw touchdowns. On top of that, remember my keys to victory that week? I said force him to throw the ball because he was hella inaccurate. Well, God dang it. We did let him throw the ball. I was all the way wrong. I'm sorry. I take it. I was wrong. He threw the ball. But I think it was partly because they had the lead. They were confident. They had the momentum. A lot of stuff factored into why he played well. He also ran the ball well. We forget that. That one big run he had was it. That was it. That gave him all the confidence in the world, Craig. Like that. He had a big run on a third down to be exact. Got a first down, then lit our asses up in the air. I'm just saying. And Kenneth, I'm with you. That's why all of these quarterbacks we talked about today were vets. I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they find somebody in the draft that they like. I'm just going to leave it at that, though. But they bring him in, and then they make the draft pick, see if they can outwork the vet. It's kind of what they did last year with Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld. Just the 49ers are a history repeats itself type of a team. And let's see if that's a trend. Let's see if that's something that they continue to do. Shout out to everybody that's tuning into the show. Eddie, thank you for being a guest on the show, as well as Terradome. I appreciate you guys for always chiming in and giving your thoughts to the faithful. They love to hear from you guys whenever we open up the live lines. All right. Thank you, everybody else. To all the members out there, appreciate your love, your support, and your time. To all the subscribers out there, thank you for everything that you do for me right here on this channel. I appreciate you. You're well appreciated. I'll be back Friday with John Chapman. We'll have some good old things to break down. All right. Make sure you guys stay up. You stay faithful. Always, and I mean always, when I say always, you got to do this. Always keep it nitty gritty. Don't bite your tongue for no one. Let people know how you feel. You feel me? Thanks for watching. Peace out.